do have that slight question about defender head of the leg 19B, whether he might be assessed to have presented and then not jumped the big wedge corner on the direct. We're seeing a green across the board at the moment. That's what we'll go with as Caroline Pamucc minimum. So Caroline Pamucc at the Mars Sustainability Bay Water. Just a little bit of a splash through the edge of the pond as they find the right racing line over those second two elements.
So Caroline has been out twice. She had a great round on her first horse. Her second horse, she's the one did not complete, but this is her longtime and Paris partner, HSH Blake. She's taken this horse through the Young Horse Championship program. She has been at major competitions all over the world. No stranger to pressure. It'll be more about, can she ride smart? Can she ride fast? Can she ride smooth?
If you want any indication of how much this horse means to her, she named her firstborn child. Hutchinson Sport Horses, Kelly Hutchinson here as ever, supporting Caroline when she's out at the biggest of stages. And Blake, Pan American Games individual gold medalist with Caroline in Santiago de Chile, and then went to the Paris Games.
Very efficient through there.
In show jumping with one of his horses that stopped him with 2 on his dressage score at the end of the weekend. Harry and Grafenac climbing the hill towards the Normandy Bank. Caroline Pamucc, HSH Blake on their run out here towards the 4-minute marker on course, which is the climb up towards Pete's Hollow. Sorry, I tell you a lie, she's up here at the opposing corners.
These are just 2 huge jumps. They don't give them justice looking from this angle, but they are massive. You know, this is another horse that would be similar to Monica's horse. It has a huge range of stride, but it can get a bit tired because it can get really quick, and then she has to adjust quite a bit.
Those 2:30, Grafenac and Harry Mead will tumble out of our potential top 5. It will move David Dole up into contention for a top 5 going into the final day.
Oof, not the shot she wanted there. She's having a little bit of an argument with Blake to get him back on his hind leg so he can get the balance in the place that he needs to. Again, rides for that 3. It was risky on the first one. She doesn't change her plan. You might see a flag come up for that, but not our decision to make.
So Harry Mead nearly home. We'll be seeing him perhaps at the Mighty Moguls, and of course at second element there of the Mighty Moguls. Caroline up at Pete's Hollow. So interesting to see the sudden change from Harry Mead up here earlier on. Does Caroline commit to the straight route and try and keep it alive? So we are currently seeing a problem for her at 12B, as you remarked, Sinead. We'll keep an eye on that.
Caroline comes to the drop here. Lines up Blake. Blake really taking over. We saw the same thing with Tolan King earlier as they got into the course, got grittier and grittier, kind of taking over with that fight. Caroline doing a great job keeping Blake out in front of her. She knows that the chances of a 5-star win are dependent on getting home as close to the time as possible. We do have that penalty on, but that will be reviewed.
Pretty on the button as well at the moment. Here's the leading US combination coming into today.
Really turning on the speed here. Got this upright gate, but it actually has a really, really nice ground rail. It's bright white and yellow, 2 colors that horses really see in the contrast of the black fences here at the Kentucky Horse Park. 1,200 acres dedicated to horses and horse sport. But the horses we're focusing on today, this lady, USA's Caroline Pamucc and HSH Blake, gallop down to the head of the lake.
It's all going to come down to potentially that 9 penalties for the flag, which is currently sitting on her card. Caroline, though, time-wise, looks in great shape. So if the judgment goes her way, she would still move back up into second, but we still have to answer all the questions. We still have to keep up the pace.
Super ride there. Just lands running away, doesn't he? Just really quick away from the fences. Yet sometimes that makes it a little bit hard with there's a BC combination, but there when she's running for home, it certainly helps to have a horse that's on the same page as you are.
And you see that they're going, it seems, if you go back to Will Coleman, it was almost exactly the same line. They seem to be going on such an oblique angle to that corner. The left-hand door so open for the horses, but that is the line. And if your five-star horse will read the flag, read the question, and be brave for you, and you open that right hand and open that door for them, they really do go for it. And that is the line that saves you those fractions of a second.
Heading up to the Normandy Bank, having answered the majority of the questions. Just a few big complexes left here. Up here, it's an easy 4 to this big open oxer. Corner combination lines it up. Another flag comes down, but that one looked...
Caroline actually caught a flag there earlier on with HSH Tolan King at the Normandy Bank, which was subsequently taken off. She will be hoping that the judgment stays with her as well. So the 35.6 you see on your screen is including the potential flag penalty. If she's clearing inside the time, there is the chance she goes back to her dressage score of 26.6, which would be worth second place overnight, but would give Monica Spencer and Artist one in hand in the show jump.
Really working to get Blake back. This is a big drop. You don't want to come flying down into this. It's an accuracy question. When the horses land here, there's a lot to look at. She swerves around, really making sure to get that D element lined up. And she's running for home. And Blake is full of running.
Could yet be the best. The US combination will see they're assessing that flag to whether those 9 penalties will come into play. Will Coleman home on 27.3.
So jumping those pergola tables that we haven't seen terribly frequently, the Lincoln Lodge that we see just, there used to be a hedgerow here dividing out the steeplechase field from the High Hopes area. They go through that rough area, and that is about the 10-minute marker. She is probably right on the money and has to keep going now. She cannot draw breath.
Coming up into the closing stages.
Yeah, but she also has to get these jumps jumped. This is a careful question he's put here at the end. It's not challenging actually that much at all because it's quite small, and it's on a small distance, so they have to take the horses back, make sure that they're accurate, which she does, and then you can run for home.
But again, you know, take in that ground of the hillocks and hummocks. That's why it's called the Mighty Moguls there, and he's used that ground so effectively in so many different ways over the years. And it's not just about causing faults, it's about interrupting riders' rhythm and trying to get a second or two maybe back from the best pairs in the sport. Yeah, I think we're just a little bit too slow there. As we've been saying, 10:45, 10:48, you need to be over that Kentucky Coffee Bean table. 11:05, it is just gone here for Caroline Pamucc and HSH Blake, which is going to open up the margin for Monica Spencer and Artist even further. Whatever happened, she was going to have a rail in hand. And remember, Pamucc